Hi, this is Mike Kennedy, M005 Kennedy with you today. And we're going to talk about a Spiratone accessory. I just want to mention the idea that, we have digital cameras now, and everybody just click, 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 and it's like, oh, you don't care what you get on the film, the sensor, because you can correct it in Photoshop. But when you don't care about this, you don't care about that, it's got image stabilizing, you don't need a tripod. Well, that's really the wrong way to look at it. You're supposed to capture the absolute best image you can and save digital adjustments for fine-tuning, for correcting, and you can't get the same, if you get an underexposed picture and you boost it with something like Photoshop, it isn't going to be the same quality as if you took it right the first place. And this same technique applies with film. I have the parrot over there commenting, okay? Yeah? You going to talk all through my thing? Yeah. Hi. Okay, so anyway, but it's the same way as if you underexposed an image with film dramatically. Well, in printing, there are some ways and techniques you can take care of that. You can fool with a grade of paper. You can do dodging and burning. But again, unless you're specifically looking for that kind of gritty graphic look, a picture taken at the correct exposure is going to look better. It's the same with digital. Although people's standard of quality decrease rapidly with the ease of digital cameras. I've seen all kinds of ads and things in papers, and you'll see someone put a picture in for an advertisement even that is absolutely horrible. But someone had a digital camera, they could aim it and push the little button, and they use that rather than have something good. Because it's quick and it's cheap, all of a sudden quality can be very low. So anyway, I don't know quite how I got on that rant, but this is a Spiratone Deluxe Focusing Rail. Okay? I think at the time that this was made, Mr. McCaw, baby, if you could be quiet for a minute, it was over $100, I believe. I could be wrong. I'd love to get a Spiratone catalog, a full catalog. I mean, they were business quite a few years. They're long since out of business. But this is a precision focusing rail. It's made to be tripod mounted. Okay? And what it does is it allows you to very extremely accurately place where the camera is. And some people might even look at this. Well, I got this for $10. It's like brand new, and I'm sure the person that I bought it from realized that they were clearing out some photo stuff, and 98% of people with digital cameras now, younger people, wouldn't even know what this is. So what could we do with this? Let's talk about that. Well, if you're working in macro photography, photographing things that are extremely close, there becomes a point where moving the camera becomes easier to determine the focus point than turning the lens. So right there you have a use for something like this. But another use, now with the incredible range of, we'll stick with film things first. Okay, you could do that with close-up things. These apply both to film and digital, but you could also just use this for stereo photography of still images. In other words, you take one picture and then you move it and take the other picture. And you can be very precise with this. Why would you want to be so precise? Because you can do a lot of different things with 3D photography. if you keep the base smaller than this average 2.5-inch spacing between the human eyes, the object will appear much bigger than it is. In other words, if you were to take a photograph of something close up and you only had a 1/2-inch spacing between the two, and you look at that properly mounted in a stereo slide, you'll look at it and it will look like a huge, like say strawberry, an enormous strawberry. It won't look like a close-up of a small strawberry. It will look like an enormous strawberry. And then on the other side, if we were to, say, double this distance, this says 13 centimeters, I guess it does. But if we were to double that and take a picture of something large, it tends to make it smaller. Okay, so there could be a point where you would take a picture of a car and you could make it appear as if it was a toy car. When you put it in the 3D, you get the impression that you were looking at a replica and not really the car itself, which is very interesting. But then if we go to digital, there's a very interesting thing that you can do. And this process could be done in an elaborate way with film too, but with digital it's quite a bit easier. Say we have, it's going to be a stationary object. We have this object, say we have an ornate shell that we don't want to take pictures of. And say it's about this big, it's 2 inches big, but it's got spikes that are like coming out of it that are like 3/4 of an inch long. And we get in there with our, we have it mounted on here, and we try to find the focus point, and we notice, my goodness, I can only get a small piece of this in focus. If I back way up and take a picture, I can get it all in focus, but then I could blow it up, but I lose the quality. I want something with dynamic image quality, and I want everything in focus. Well, what you would do is, with this rail, you would mount it on a really solid tripod, put the object in front of it, and there's numerous programs. I'll just mention one. Combine C is a freeware one. People describe how to do, I only have Photoshop Elements, but some people describe how to do it with Photoshop, but I think you need the full CS version that costs megabucks, and I don't have megabucks. Okay, but anyway, what you do is you move the camera across, you focus it for a set distance, and instead of refocusing it, you move the camera. So each part of the shell, a layer of it is in focus, and then you move it a little, the next layer is in focus, you move it a little more, the next layer is in focus, then the next layer, then the next layer. And then it's very easy with, not saying there can be problems and you don't have some things you have to work out, but then you can digitally pull out the higher contrast parts of the entire image, and what it does is it assembles only the in-focus parts of the image, puts them together, and then all of a sudden you have a picture that's completely in focus from front to back, even though taking just one slice of it, that wasn't possible. So it's very neat, but this could be used, very useful for a copy stand, to mount on a copy stand when you're doing precision copies of things. So there's all kinds of different things you can do with this. This is a very valuable tool for being precise with something. And when you're precise with things, they come out better than when you're not precise. I mean, if you're just going to depend on luck, you're going to have to wait for luck to favor you. But this dual focusing rail, see the back here, it's got a nut where you can tighten it down to so it won't move. You tighten it on the tripod here, but there's just all kinds of opportunities for things to do photographically with this. And like I say, this was $10, and it's from Spiratone, which no longer exists. I would hate to think if I needed one of these, and I looked now, and I had to try to purchase one of these. I just can't imagine how much this would cost. Getting a precision focus rail. Now, Spiratone wasn't known for making the absolute highest, superest quality things, but this will do the job. And I just hate to think of what it would cost if I absolutely needed this and had to go out and purchase it. It would be a lot. And there's just a lot of things you can do with it. So this what I'm trying to encourage too in this video, the two things we're talking about: film equipment, things that people have that are just kind of laying around because it was for film. You can't use it anymore because it was for film. Well, you can if you use a film camera. And big surprise, tripods. I've tried this, and I can tell you, tripods work with digital cameras. They've got that same like screw on the thing where it will screw on, and tripods and things like this do fit on digital cameras, and they work. And you know what? They work well. I mean, there was a study they did with film cameras that proved that if you took a camera on a tripod and took pictures, the pictures were always sharper on the tripod, no matter what shutter speed you were using. Now, it's obvious if you're trying to take a picture of half a second, your hands are going to, your hands are going to move a little. But even at 1/500th of a second, the pictures were sharper. And now someone will say, yeah, but we have image stabilizing now. Well, again, tripods and things like this can give you precision so that you don't have to spend so much time in the workflow of digital imaging processing, so much time cropping, so much time editing, retouching, and all of that stuff if you can take the shot right the first time. So here we are, the Spiratone, I'm going to read it, Deluxe Focusing Rail. It's part number 520659. And it's the new improved, it had 140 millimeters extension, focusing rail. So there you go. You get near where you want to be, and then you have 140 millimeters to play with to move your camera back and forth. So this is Mike Kennedy saying, add a little precision to your life. And also try to think of what you can do and what's out there for equipment. Whether you're doing film, if you're doing film, you might be more attuned to some of these things. But if you're doing digital, don't forget that there was a whole world of photography before digital, and they figured a lot of stuff out that you're just, I guess, you can just use luck and hope it comes out the way you want. Or you might want to read up on some of the books, macro photography and different books that were about film, and understand the technique, and then even apply it to your digital camera. It will make a big difference. Okay, Mike Kennedy saying have a good day.